Hello and welcome back to Miss B's Plan B. It's lovely to see you. I hope that you're well. Today we're going to be doing another session about symmetry. So if you cast your mind back to the last one we did, we went and had a symmetry hunt in our local area. So my first question for you is, what do we actually mean by symmetry? See if you can remember from the last time. What do we mean by symmetry? And you might like to pause the video to give you a bit more thinking time, or if you want to share your thoughts with somebody that you are with. So, symmetry is all about when we change a shape in some way so that it still looks exactly the same as we did before. And the two types of symmetry we've looked at so far have been reflective symmetry and rotational symmetry. And I'm going to recap those for you now. So, if we have a look at this heart, okay, this is an example of reflective symmetry. Because if you can see this dotted line, if I put a mirror on that dotted line and looked into the mirror, the shape would look exactly the same. So everything on this side is on this side too. It's just flipped over and it's exactly the same distance from that middle line. That's really important, that it's flipped over and exactly the same distance. Okay, so that's reflective symmetry. We also talked about rotational symmetry. So for example, if I have this fidget spinner, yes, it does still have reflective symmetry, and it has three different lines, mirror lines I could put there and there, okay, but it also has rotational symmetry. So around this central point, I could flip it this way, one way, this way, two ways, this way, three ways, and it still would look exactly the same. So that's what we mean when we talk about rotational symmetry. So we're spinning it around a central point and it still looks the same. Now, what we're going to do is, to begin with, we're going to play a little game just to get us thinking about how symmetry, reflective symmetry, is a mirror image. And what we're going to do is, I want you to be a mirror image of me. So if I, for example, raise my right hand, you will raise your left hand, okay, so you can try that now, and then it will be mirroring what I do. Okay, and this time if I raise my left hand, you will raise your right hand and you will be mirroring what I am doing. And what we're going to do for this game is, basically, I want you to be my mirror image. I'm going to do some actions very slowly and I want you to watch closely and just copy what I do. So get ready, here we go. So just copy me. So you will be getting your left hand and raising it slowly, taking it out, and now join it. So copy me, go the same speed as me. I'm going very slowly to give you the chance to just copy what I'm doing. Really concentrating, copying what I do. So when my hands up, go up, yours go up. If they go down, yours are going to go down. And this is just a fun game you could play with somebody else in your family if you want to. Excellent. So that was a good example of reflective symmetry. Now, what I'd like you to do today is to have a go at making your own symmetrical patterns. And you could choose, you could do a reflective pattern or a rotational pattern, totally up to you, or you might want to do both. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What you'll need to do first of all, though, is within government guidelines, when you're out for your daily exercise, I would like you to go and collect some nature objects. Please remember to take care, because things can be sharp and dangerous. So if you're not sure, ask a grown-up. So remember, only pick things up from the forest floor, and check that you don't put your hands near your mouth and that you wash your hands properly when you get back. As you're collecting objects, try and find groups of objects that are about the same size and about the same shape, because that will help you when you are building your patterns. So I have already brought my nature objects home and I have sorted them into groups of similar shapes and sizes ready for my pattern, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stick down the middle first of all, which is going to represent, I think I'll use that one, it's straighter, it's going to represent my mirror line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to start placing objects to make a reflective symmetry pattern. Okay, a reflective symmetry pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for, let's have a look, I had some roses that had died, so I'm going to put those petals there, making sure that it's flipped over. I've got some nice green leaves. These ones came off of a weed actually, so I was weeding, so that's why I've got those. And I'm positioning them at the same angle, again the same distance from the mirror line. Let's see what else I've got. I've got some sticks I might put into my pattern. Again checking, they're flipped over and the same distance from the mirror line. I had some more petals, again checking that the pointy end is the same way round. Let's put those out there. And just keep building your pattern up. Oh, I had some seeds. I might actually layer up my pattern a bit, so I might lay those on top of the petals. Okay, so remember there is no right or wrong way. As long as you're flipping it over, you can choose how to arrange them. Okay, and it's up to you how complicated you make the pattern. And just keep building it up, thinking, right, have I done exactly the same on both sides? Does this mirror the other side? Okay, and I'll keep checking, is it the same distance? Yep, great, let's add some more petals because they look quite eye-catching. Let's put those there, making sure again the tip of the petal is the same way round. I think I'll add some seeds to those as well. A bit of contrast. Okay, and what I will do is I will take a photo of this in a minute so you can see it from above, because you can see it much better when it's a photo from above. Next, I'm going to create a pattern that has rotational symmetry here. So for this one, I found a nice conker which I'm going to place in the centre. Okay, and then I'm going to think about, right, how can I position my things around the edge of it so that if I spun my pattern around, it would look the same. So this time I've got 4 petals I'm arranging around it. I think I've got 4 sticks. Let's put those in the gaps, making sure I'm checking the distance between them all. Checking, imagining if I was spinning that around, would it still look the same? What else have I got? Oh, I've got some 4 green leaves. They're nice. So let's build onto the pattern here. Okay, so there's a pattern with rotational symmetry, and I'll take a picture of it now for you to have a look at from above. Here we are. So I hope you found that useful and it's given you some ideas for some patterns you could create. Another thing you might like to do is, if you can't get outside, you could use objects from around the house, but also you might like to make some patterns in the mud, for example. If it's very muddy, because I know we've had lots of rain recently, you might actually decide to get a stick and you could draw some symmetrical patterns in the mud. Another thing I did is, when we had the lovely snowy weather, I actually created some symmetrical patterns in the snow, which I will show for you now. So I hope that's given you some ideas for the types of patterns you might like to create. So have lots of fun doing it, and remember you can challenge yourselves as well. So for example, you might think, right, I've done a pattern that's got 1 line of symmetry. Could I now do a pattern with 2 lines of symmetry and make it a bit more challenging for yourself? So have lots of fun, remember to stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care, goodbye.